No Country for Old Men is a film by the Coen brothers based on a book by Cormac McCarthy that I didn't read. While out hunting, Llewellyn Moss walks in on a drug deal gone wrong. He finds a bunch of corpses, a Mexican dying of thirst, and $2 million in cash. He takes the money and has the chance to walk away scot-free. He goes home, cracks open a beer, fucks his wife. Life is good. But so is Llewellyn. He's not willing to let the wounded Mexican die of thirst in the desert. He fills up his water jug and sets out to do something terribly reckless, a good deed, and he will pay for it. The cartel rolls up as he's trying to do the right thing, and he barely escapes with his life. Meanwhile, the drug traffickers have enlisted the services of a force of nature to get their money back. Anton Chigurh. Played by Javier Bardem, this bowl-cut wearing fiend is unstoppable and inscrutable. Not even halfway into the movie, Chigurh kills his employers but continues to pursue Llewellyn anyway. He seems to have his own twisted morality and set of principles that a well-adjusted person would just never be able to understand.
Call it.
Call it. For what?
Just call it.
We need to know what we're calling it for here.
You need to call it. I can't call it for you. Well, it wouldn't be fair.
I didn't put nothing up.
Yes, you did. You've been putting it up your whole life. You just didn't know it.
The two men get locked into a chase from motel to motel, culminating in a shootout that leaves both of them severely wounded. Llewellyn is insanely resourceful. From his elaborate scheme to retrieve the cash from a vent, discovering on his own that there's a transmitter in the case, and honeying his way across the Mexican border, if anyone has a chance to get the best of Chigurh, it's Llewellyn Moss. But in the words of Tommy Lee Jones' character at the start of the movie, this good old boy's run into something he doesn't understand in Anton Chigurh.
No.
Llewellyn barely scrapes by, but Chigurh expertly distracts a pharmacy full of people and treats the buckshot wound in his leg with surgical precision and care. This chase could go on for a long time, a brutal stalemate that would push Llewellyn to his absolute limit. A good man chased by an evil man for doing the right thing. It would seem like that fairly simple moral struggle is the center of the movie. But there's a third player, Ed Tom Bell. Tommy Lee Jones' stone-faced sheriff is the observer in this. He's an old man who watches the moral carnage unfold and doesn't know what to make of it. What troubles him so much? Is it the brutality of the violence Chigurh inflicts on innocent people? I don't think so. Just look at the way he carries himself in this scene.
You said entry wound in the forehead, no exit wound.
Yes, sir.
You telling me you shot this boy in the head and then went digging around in there with a pocket knife?
Sir, I don't want to picture that.
I don't either.
Ed Tom's been sheriff of this county since he was 25 years old. A very long time. He's dealt with murder and he's sent people to the electric chair. It's not the gore that scares him. But then what leaves him so troubled? What is it about what Ed Tom sees that unsettles him so deeply and leads him to quit policing? I think it's all summed up in this scene.
Here last week they found this couple out in California. They rent out rooms to old people, kill them, bury them in the yard, cash their Social Security checks. Well, they'd torture them first. I don't know why. Maybe the television set was broke. And this went on until, here I quote, neighbors were alerted when a man ran from the premises wearing only a dog collar. You can't make up such a thing as that. How dare you to even try? But that's what it took, you notice. Get somebody's attention. Digging graves in the backyard didn't bring any. Oh, that's all right. I laugh myself sometimes. Ain't a whole lot else you can do.
Ed Tom sees what's going on in his country. He sees the evil and he sees the good. But nobody else does, or if they do, they don't care. Llewellyn buys a jacket and beer off a group of young men outside the Mexican border, and they just take his money and go on their way. Nobody notices Anton Chigurh steal the medicine he needs to continue his hunt. It's the bystanders, the nobodies, that break the tenuous stalemate between Llewellyn Moss and Anton Chigurh.
Who are you?
Me?
Yes.
Nobody. The county. Are you going to shoot me?
That depends. Do you see me?
Llewellyn's mother-in-law with
cancer.
blabs her mouth to a random Mexican thug hired to find the money. She just tells him where they're going. It gets Llewellyn killed. After all that, the whole movie, the chase, the tension, the mano-a-mano battle of brains and bullets, it's not even Chigurh who kills him. And it's also the bystanders that let Anton Chigurh get away in the end. When he randomly gets hit by a car, he's dead in the water, the ambulances are approaching, and he just takes a seat on the curb. But two boys roll up on their bicycles. Chigurh asks for one of the boys' shirts to make a sling for his broken arm, and no questions asked, the boy gives it to him. Why is it so important to be gone before the authorities show up? The boy doesn't ask, he doesn't care. He gets $100 in his pocket and a story to tell his friends. The nobodies on the periphery will always uncritically help somebody out or make small talk, completely blind to the evil they might be brushing shoulders with. This terrifies Ed Tom. This is no country for people wise enough to see what's really going on.
But I don't want to push my chips forward and go out and meet something I don't understand. A man would have to put his soul at hazard. You'd have to say, okay. I'll be part of this world.